guys, it's me, Karen Valentine, back to continue on with this beautiful page by Julia Spiri. I believe it is called Romantic Dreams. We're going to do hair today. So I had a request from my friend Mandy, the sweetest gal, and she wanted me to do a tutorial on the hair that I did on this page here. So I think it will actually be a beautiful color to do on the page we're working on now. So that's what we're going to do. And that hair combo is Beige, Sienna, Espresso, and Black. Super duper easy. So I will be sure to put the list of those colors in the description box below. But I think you guys can remember 3 colors. Super easy. Okay, so I'm just going to get started, and it'll be interesting to see how it comes out since the image is so soft and undefined. But we're just gonna go for it and see what happens. So I've kind of already determined that the light source is pretty much coming from this direction. And you can see how she's already got quite a bit of blank space right here. So we're going to do our highlights pretty much right in the center of the hair. And again, I like to work in sections on the hair. It makes it easier for me to determine what I want to do with each section. So I'm going to lay down some Beige Sienna. And we're just going to start right here. Then Espresso. Do you want me to get a little bit closer? I think that'll be good. I'm just going to feather that into the Beige Sienna. And I think right here where I've drawn the strands coming in together, we're going to make that a kind of a point. And maybe I'll add a little bit more Beige Sienna right there. Sometimes it's just, there's no tried or true definitive method. You just kind of got to eyeball it and see what you want to do. Try to make sure I keep it in frame. One of these days, maybe I'll be able to get a different setup. I think some YouTubers have a really nice setup where they have maybe 2 screens and they can see what they're doing. I have to look up into my iPhone that's set in my tripod to make sure that I've got everything in frame. Okay, so we're going to call that section 1, I think. Okay, that was funny. You probably think, what happened there? My husband walked in and started chit-chatting like he forgot that I was in here filming. So I think I can just, I don't know, edit it out. Hopefully you'll... Anyway, I'm going to start blending now. It's interesting having him home during the day. He is working from home through all of this. And it's fine. Thankfully, we get along very well, so it's not a problem. It's just, you know, new. It's just new. Okay, there's section 1. Let's just keep on keeping on. So I can see that to me and to my eye, this section right here is receding behind this one and this one. So I'm going to make that section right there pretty dark without a highlight. Again, just kind of using heavier pressure at the top of the section and lighter pressure feathering it into the highlight. Okay, I'm going to use my blender. See how much brighter that pencil becomes once I use the blender on it? It just makes that color pop. Now, probably if I added layer upon layer upon layer of pencil, I could probably get the same effect, but I don't think I really need it. Now, I'm going to pull out my black and just show you what adding the black does. So we're just using it in the very kind of corners of the sections of hair, just like that. Something about this looks weird to me and I don't know what it is. So I think I'm gonna, I don't know, bring maybe it was just too sharp right there. Just wanted to soften it up a little bit. That's better. That's better. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. See, do I want to do, no, I'll do the upper section first and then we'll work down. So when I drew in, the reason that I wanted to draw the lines first, which I did in the last video, was because it gave me that something to play with as far as depth in the hair. So there's this section right here that we're going to call that one of the receding darker sections. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that darker color in there right now. I didn't do a very good job, but it'll probably all blend out with pencil. Now, how did I do that? I hate it when that happens. I bet you if I break out my eraser, I'm going to erase some of this gray. I know accidents do happen, but I don't like it when they do. Although I do drop my pencils more often than I would like. Thankfully, usually they're just dropped onto the table and I don't have any breakage problems. It's fun to watch a page come alive as you're adding the skin and adding the hair. It just, all of a sudden, it's like, oh wow, like that really is starting to look like a real picture, a real portrait. Okay, so I think I'm going to take my pencil and try and draw in the leaf. I think that's a leaf. And now that I do that, I can see that I need to bring the hair up to it a little bit more. Better. Now that's where I had the dark area, so I'm going to go ahead and define that with the black a little bit. And now blend it out. Always going in the direction that the hair would be growing. Beige Sienna. I feel like I could probably just that's Cooper. Cooper is very excited because his papa is outside making noise and he wants to know what's going on out there. He's a Welsh Springer Spaniel. And he is one of the best dogs we've ever had. We're big time dog people around here. And this is the first home we've only had one dog. And I'm starting to get a hankering for another one. They give so much joy and unconditional love, and dogs are the best. Not that cats are great too, but you know, we have dogs. Okay. So I'm going to take my espresso. I feel like I need more, and I want to blend it a little bit better into that highlight. Break it up a little bit, because really most of the highlight is going to be hitting right there, and it's not going to be as strong up here. Okay, so now this is kind of like a twist. So not sure what the best way to do that is. Is it this whole section here? Yeah, we'll do it like that. So I'm going to put the highlight right here. This is probably a little bit darker right there. And it looks like let's go start there. Okay. And we're going to put our highlight right here. And then this, I think, is going to be pretty dark. I may add some black right in here. So black, just to help define the two sections. Good. Okay, and then a little bit of highlight right here. I forgot to plug in my pencil sharpener. probably okay. We'll get some black in there to define that when we get there. I want to do this section next. Okay. Some of that may have to be black. I feel like I'm quieter today. I think when I filmed the first part of the video, I feel like I was just chatty Cathy. Okay, I am going to fill that in with the espresso for right now, and I may come back in and darken it with a little bit of black later, or maybe right now. I don't know. Let's see. Let's fill that in. I think it's going to need a little bit of black. Yep. Okay. On we go. I'm going to work my way out, I think. Uh-oh, I'm sniffly today. The allergies are in full swing again. It shouldn't last for too much longer now that it's starting to get really, really hot. Everything dies off and allergies won't be so bad through the summer. Just a little bit more feathering into the highlight. And then we'll move on. I've been told that sometimes I speak too quietly. And I responded by saying that it comes from lots of time spent alone coloring, where all I have to talk to, the only person I have to talk to is myself. So sometimes that can be a hard habit to get out of, but I'm trying. Really, if you can't hear me because I'm talking too low, it's probably not anything that's super important for you to hear anyway. Okay. Add a little bit of black, I think, just underneath this piece here. Right here. I'm going to do a little bit of defining the sections again here. That may not be right. I don't think I want that line there. Just go with that. Okay. Espresso. You can tell I'm concentrating really hard because I'm not saying anything. I feel like I should have some music or something for you to listen to instead of just me breathing. Okay, let's blend that. And just bring a little bit more of that espresso up into the beige sienna so that the line of the highlight isn't quite so harsh. It's a little bit softer. And then let's add the black. Right under. Now you could do the whole thing in the beige sienna and the espresso first and then go back in and add your darkest shadows on the hair, but I really like doing it as I go because it helps me. I think I told you this before. It just helps me visualize what to do next and what that makes me see that it's looking correct so far. Okay, let's do that section right there, which probably would not have as much highlight as the rest. It's gonna okay. This part's going to be a little tricky. So I have black in my hand and just very lightly so that I'm kind of blocking out where I see the darkest shadows being. This is going to be the lightest right there. And for now, that'll work for now. So the hair is going to come around like this. Feather into that section, come up. So that's going to be the darkest, and this, do I want that to be very light? I think we're going to do a little bit of very light, Beige Sienna. And right there. A little bit more black right there. And I think this will be a highlight. I think I'm going to turn my paper. It's easier for me to pull the pencil towards me, and so since I want to go in the direction that the hair is going, it's easier if I turn my paper. But do you see how working the hair in each section at a time helps you to see what each section should look like? Oh, it's hard. I'm not describing it very well, but if I had done everything all at once, I don't think I would be getting the definition of the curls of the hair and all that, because it would be harder to see. Now I have to decide. Might do a little bit of dark right here. And then is that going to be really light or dark? Or neither? Maybe just, I think I'm just going to fill that in with, because neither one made any sense to me. That's better. Okay. Now a little bit of black right here. Okay. Let's do. I think this right here is going to be dark. It looks like this color is coming out a little bit, sorry, let me back out, a little bit blonder, a little bit lighter than this one. And I think the only reason for that is because I used more black when I did this one than I'm doing on hers. That's the only difference, because the color combo is the same. Okay. Alrighty. Should we zoom in again a little bit? Okay. A little bit of black in this. Looking pretty good. So her hair is coming down like that. I think this is going to be dark. So I'll do it like that. And I'm going to fill in this section with black. Just like that. Okay, this looks like it needs a little bit more blending right here. Between the Caran d'Ache full blender that I'm using and the Recollections cardstock, I get such a nice smooth finish. I've tried so many different papers, and out of all of them, this one and the Strathmore Bristol Smooth give me consistently good results every time that I'm really happy with. It suits my style very well. So, and the Recollections cardstock is a lot cheaper than the Strathmore paper, so this has kind of become the one that I use all the time. I'm just going to put a little bit of the Beige Sienna in this section that kind of looks like it would be in a shadow. feel very self-consciously aware that I've been saying okay a lot through this whole video. That would be one of those examples of me talking to myself. So just chalk it up to one of my endearing quirks, and please forgive me. Okay, see, there I go again. I think that will be the edge of that bit of hair. Maybe that. I've never done hair in this kind of a style. It's usually always just been loose and flowy, so this is a new experience. And I feel pretty happy about how it's coming out so far, so thank goodness for that. Okay, I'm going to make that a little bit darker. I guess I need to change the angle here so you can see. This always happens when I get down to the bottom of the page. There. Just have to work like that until I can figure out a different holder for my camera. I was talking to my hubby about it, and we might try and build one ourselves out of PVC pipe that will just sit on my desk, on the outer edges of the desk, and then we'll figure out a way to attach the camera from there. That way there's nothing in my way as I'm trying to do these videos. He's pretty handy for stuff like that. He can build or fix just about anything, which is awesome. I started a Facebook page for Coloring Art by Karen Valentine, to just kind of have a place to, you know, show in progress photos, and I don't know, I just thought it seemed like the thing to do. So there's a link to that in the description box underneath this video, and if you are so inclined and interested, you can follow it over to Facebook. And I don't know, what do? You like a page, like my page, and then you'll be notified as I'm getting ready to post new videos, and you'll see kind of in progress pictures, and if I come up with any cool tips and tricks or whatever, I can post them there too. So love to see you over there. It would be very cool. Okay, let's see what it looks like if we blend that out. We can add as needed. All right, let's start here with the dark black, and then I feel like it needs something in here, but I'm not sure how I want to do that. Do I want to do it this way? Okay, and maybe even another one. Oh, that's better. And then one up here. And maybe another one. And then a little bit all underneath this twist of hair. Oh, I also wanted to say to you guys, I'm so grateful to everybody who's left comments on all the videos. You've given me your feedback, and it's all been wonderful feedback or excellent constructive criticism. So I really, really appreciate that very, very much. It's always good to know how you're doing, if you're doing the right thing, if you need to improve in certain areas. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's keep going. Now, the question is, can I get this thing up any further? I think what I'm going to do is stop the video, try and readjust so that I can get this bottom part here better up in the screen. So I'll be right back. Okay, I think that worked. So now I can keep going. So this section comes around here. This section. This. I'm not sure how to do that. I think we'll just do it like that and go a little bit darker in there. And then the rest of that's pretty self-explanatory. So let's start here. This is going to be dark. I think. I hope that's right. light right here. That was me hitting my light. Something about what I did there doesn't look right. And I think it was that black. So maybe if we darken everything in there, it'll look better. I think, yeah, okay. I think we're all right. I think I'm on the right track here. Yeah, that black does not go there. It doesn't look right. And I hate it when I do that. And let's see. I don't have an eraser handy, except for this one. I hope I can salvage this. Okay. I don't know. I might have messed it up. Okay, that's just something there that does not look right, and I have no idea how to fix it. So it's not terrible, but it just doesn't look right. Phooey. So this is supposed to be the roll of hair, and this is the hair that is over it. So does that need to be all dark? Is that why it just doesn't look right? I don't know. Once I make it dark, I don't think there's much that I can do to fix it. Okay, well, it still doesn't look right, but I'm going to let it go, and I'm just going to move on, and maybe it'll come to me how to fix it better. Do this at a funny angle. Sorry, I've got to turn the paper. Okay. So that, I think, is supposed to be dark. But how dark do I want it to be? So I'm going to fill it all in with the espresso. And then work my way out with black. Maybe blend it first. think that's probably enough. And we want to make this nice and dark. We don't want any white showing, so that it looks more like it's banded together. I kind of wish I would have maybe drawn in a hair ribbon or something in there, but we'll just have to pretend that it's banded. Okay, and then right here we want a little bit of black to define that section of hair from the other. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of black right here. And I feel like that looks a little bit better. So it's time to move on down. This one, I want to make sure I cover up that weird mess that I put down there. Okay, so let's do some I don't know how this is going to look. I want it to look like that looks, because that turned out really nice. So I want it to look as real as possible down here, and I'm not feeling like it's going to do that. So let me just put in a little bit of those. Maybe they need, maybe that's what it needs. I don't know. Okay. Highlight. The highlight on this part might be a little tough because the grayscale is so, it's pretty dark right there. We'll see. Might turn out just fine. Feathering in is not as easy when you're working off the edge of the page. That's for sure. You guys are going to have to start playing a drinking game where you take a drink every time I say okay. You'll be sloshed by the end of the video. So that weird thing going on down there at the very bottom is probably a result of something that I did previously, but we can probably cover it up. Okay, first a little bit, drink! First a little black. I'm gonna try and cover up that. It's not covering up very well. I don't hate it. It's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. Thank goodness. As a colorist, we definitely all hate it when we get super far into a page and then really mess it up. That stinks. Okay, a little bit of black right underneath where this section of hair, and then black underneath here. And more. Well, it looks a little bit weird, but I don't know what to do about it. It's like the pencil is not taking the same way where the border was. Here's the edge of where it printed, and you can see all the weirdness is happening right underneath that line. It's not terrible. I'll live. I just wish I could. I just want to fix it and make it perfect. I don't think that's going to happen. So we're just going to let it be because I don't know what to do to fix it. And it's not awful. Okay, we have, oh, drink. We have this strand of hair to do, and then we're going to be finished with the hair. Oh, and the eyebrows. We want to do those eyebrows too. So highlight right in here. Maybe right there. Come up. I still have no idea how I'm going to tackle those flowers. They're messy, not in a bad way, but in a, they were watercolor flowers at one point way, so there's not a lot of definition there. So I have no idea what how they're gonna turn out. We'll see. Maybe we'll get lucky like we did with the hair. They kind of look like peonies. And peonies are a messy flower anyway, so that could work in our favor. Sharpen my pencil. I am still, for some reason, on this page, which, again, I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't think you can. It didn't stick out to me when I looked at the last video that you could really tell. But I can see all kinds of funky little dots that appear as I'm coloring. And I use Prismacolors all the time. They're my main go-to pencil. And I never have problems with as much little flaky dots appearing. And the only thing I can think of is that it's the grayscale, although I've printed grayscale pages before and it's never been this bad, so I don't have an answer on that one. But if you can't even see it, it really doesn't matter. Okay. Blending this one out. Now the question is, do I give this strand of hair a shadow? It needs it, but I'm always afraid to do shadows on skin because I always feel like I mess them up. What do I do? I'm afraid. Do I use brown? Do I use gray? I just don't know. So while I'm deciding, I'm going to put her eyebrows in. And I think we're going to use the Espresso. When I do eyebrows, I always think about like they're actually little tiny hairs. I'm going to put a little bit of black right under here. All right, is there any other area where I feel like it needs a little bit more black? Maybe right here. Just coming in. That to be softer. Okay. There are some more of those little pieces of something. Pencil, paper, ink. I don't know. That's better though. Okay, I think we're finished with her hair. I'm going to decide if I want to add shadow to that strand of hair here. And if I do, I'll either do it off camera because I'm a big chicken, or I'll do it on the next video. But there we have it. There's our color combo with Beige Sienna, Espresso, and Black. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys again, as always, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care.